screen to show me any larger than I am.
The worst thing about this whole camera situation is that I constantly look at myself on the camera and make faces at myself.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I look at myself and I'm like, am I centered? Does my hair is sticking up a little? Do I need to fix my shirt? I'm a little uneven this way. Okay. That's what I do.
I think I'm just going to stay like this the entire time.
I think we all should.
The trick would be is if, God damn it, why didn't I think of this before? The next time it's just two of us on, we should set it up so it's like we're just...
There you go.
Ah.
Except, Tony, your face is like twice as big as his. He needs to get closer.
My camera is very far away.
Mm-hmm.
That would be better. Yeah, so what are we doing next week? What's the other movie you...
Something not by Pedro Almodóvar?
Didn't you suggest another one, or was this the one? I guess this was just the one.
This was the one.
There was something else I was thinking of.
I don't know.
But I don't remember now what that was. I don't know. We had planned ahead for a while, and that worked out really well.
I don't think there was anything you put in the Google Notes about anything after this.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I'm just going to pull up Netflix and see if anything stands out.
Stands out. You know, I feel like I watched a good movie the other day, but also I don't remember. I watch a devastating amount of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what is... Oh, that's a television show. Jesus, how many television shows is what's his name on? Fucking God, what is his name?
Matt Berry. I don't know.
No, close.
Close.
The guy from the original Office.
Steve Carell.
Not Ricky Gervais.
Oh, the original. Shoot.
He's also been in the Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Martin Freeman.
Oh, he's in an incredible amount of television. Holy shit! Every time I turn around, he's in another television show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's about the gangs in Florida.
I don't know
which one.
The one you probably saw the ad for because it keeps
Startup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The name of it is Startup, but it's about gangs in Florida.
That is not what I would have expected that to be about.
No, me neither.
Okay.
But they're like on that roof, and he's like, "If you look over there, there's gangs." It's like, oh, Martin Freeman, come on.
We just finished the second season of Breeders.
Oh.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I forgot that was a show.
Oh, man. Second season. It goes places.
All right.
Like, it goes places. It just wrapped up.
Wait, every time I look up Startup, it gives me an Asian drama.
I do not believe... Well, one, I'm not recommending we watch that TV show that looks incredibly uninteresting to me.
No, I thought it might have been a movie.
3 seasons.
And then it's 3 seasons of a television show, and I was like, wait a minute.
3 seasons!
What the hell? How does he have the time?
Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe this is not about gang. I swear when he was on that roof, he was talking about gang. I don't know.
Maybe. I still need to watch the second season of Love, Death, and Robots also.
Where's that?
Any of that.
Netflix.
I don't know. I know you guys are talking about it. I don't think I know anything about it.
I wasn't. I have not watched any of it
Oh, okay.
because I'm not some fly by the seat of my pants like Tony. Tony, I'm not really excited about any of this bullshit on here.
Yeah, I'm not terribly excited about it. I saw that there's a new Amy Adams movie here, but I read the description. I was like, oh, that's Rear Window.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I thought when I was looking at the trailer.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was like, oh, yeah, I've seen this.
I like Rear Window.
But I like Rear Window
Yeah.
as Rear Window.
You know what? I think I want to talk about the Mitchells versus the Machines.
What?
I would also like to do that.
I think we will do that for next week.
Yes!
Wait.
Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Mitchells
The Mitchells
Machines.
versus the Machines.
Okay.
Watch
Is
it with
Okay.
your family.
Yeah, watch it with the whole house.
For real, or you just
Yeah,
For
like,
real.
for
No,
real.
For real.
Okay.
For real.
Absolutely. For real.
Okay.
For goddamn real.
Mhm.
All right. So that takes care of next week.
Yes.
There's a lot of SNL voices in it.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of everything in it.
Yeah. So today was Holden's last day of public education.
Ooh.
He had his
Wow.
last class in high
Very
school
nice.
today.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah, he graduates
Tony,
in 10
you are-
days and
Very old now.
You're ancient.
just keeps getting older.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
I have no kids. I get to be younger just by default.
Oh, I don't think that's how that works.
Should we compare mobility?
Oh. No, we shouldn't.
I just think having kids just gives you more milestones with which to remember. How like milestone reminders. Oh, my son had his last day of high school today.
Yeah, well, and what's wild is like as he's finishing up his last class, he also got the notification for his housing assignment for college
Oh,
for his
yeah?
dorm. So yeah, he knows which dorm he's staying in, which room, and everything. So
Does he have like a roommate, or does he have his own room?
he likely will have a roommate, but they haven't announced to him who his roommate is.
Okay.
Like they're also not done with all the housing assignments. So he may not have a roommate currroom, but like
Yeah, it's still
95%
early
he
days.
will
Yeah.
have one.
By the time he
Yeah,
gets there.
I mean, he requested a room back in like November. So he was early in the process for a freshman
Good.
incoming freshman to do that.
Do you think they might mistakenly give him a chick roommate, and then it could potentially turn into a college romantic comedy?
Oh, it could. I mean,
So
or
we could just
alternatively,
like live stream from his dorm
a
room.
body swap story.
body swaps. Whoa.
Okay.
I was going to say alternatively, Tony, you be his roommate. Pull like a Rodney Dangerfield situation.
Back to school?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That
Then
would be
you
cool.
do like a triple dive off multiple boards at the end of the movie.
Flunk me, flunk you. That movie
Shit
is
writes
dumb.
itself.
That movie is dumb. I fucking love that movie.
Rodney
God, I
Dangerfield
haven't
was
seen
just
that
really
in
fucking
such
funny.
a long time.
That guy just had
I
a
think-
face for comedy.
I think that was my first exposure to Oingo Boingo. Also was in that movie, and Danny Elfman.
I don't know what that means.
You know who Danny Elfman is?
I know who
Yeah.
Danny Elfman is.
He used to be the frontman for a band called Oingo Boingo. Yeah,
I've seen them. I saw them
they're-
a number of times in the 80s.
yeah. Their big song was "Dead Man's Party," and they performed that in that movie.
That was their big song, not Weird Science?
Weird Science. That was
Weird Science was another big one. Yeah,
and
that
Danny
that
Elfman.
was a really big one.
Danny Elfman,
Yes.
Oscar-winning composer.
Yes.
Weird Science.
Husband to Bridget Fonda.
I don't know who that is.
Daughter of Peter Fonda.
She was an actress in the early 90s.
Was?
I don't know that she still
I don't
is.
think she acts anymore.
I haven't seen
she's
her
a retired American actress.
Yeah, I don't think she's acted in a long time.
She was in Single White Female, I think.
I believe that's correct.
And
yeah.
one of those, like...
Was that Jennifer Jason Leigh?
Yes. And then she was in, I don't remember the name, one of those, like, Winona Ryder-esque, everyone's friends and has coffee and they might have lived in Seattle movies.
Singles or...
Maybe.
There was a couple of those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just making shit up now.
If I'm not mistaken, she was also in one of those
Singles, yes.
action movie that she didn't know who she was and then she was activated and all that. Yeah, Point of No Return.
And she was in Jackie Brown, which I did not see.
Jackie Brown's good.
Kiss of the Dragon.
That's Tarantino, right?
Yes. So, hey, this is Tony.
This is Lena.
And this is David.
We are the Backseat Producers.
Hello.
All right. So, this week we are talking about Bad Education.
Educación.
Jesus. You told me about that quirk of the language.
It's
and
the
I
worst.
only heard it. I don't speak. I never learned Spanish, but I couldn't not hear that. And it's especially bad when one of the characters is named Ignacio.
Did you never see Faulty Towers?
I've watched a couple episodes of it.
Because Manuel, the bellboy, was from Barcelona. And he always made sure to say Barcelona.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I watched a couple episodes and it was all right. I saw things that came out after Faulty Towers that inspired Faulty Towers, and it was hard to go back and watch that as the thing that started all those other things, because other things, like other shows, built on it and progressed beyond what they did, so it just didn't feel as good. Like it didn't feel as polished.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
yeah,
that's my entire review. I hate the Castellan S.
You know what? Now I do too. So, Lena, what did you think about the movie?
Well, at first, I was confused and bored and irritated and wanted to take a nap and not watch the movie. But then I actually read the plot while I was deciding whether to give up on the movie, which then made me understand what?
Give up on the movie.
I was confused.
You should
and
be.
Then once I read the plot, I'm like, oh, that's what I got wrong. Okay, now I can be invested. It was good. I forgot how screwy his movies are. I thought I had seen Almodóvar's movies before, but I actually have not.
So then how could you forget how screwy his movies are?
Well, I knew they were screwy. But,
See what I did there? See me mad dogging you?
But actually, it wasn't bad. It was okay. I'm not going to go to good. I'll say it was okay. And I'm all right with that.
David, what did you think?
I loved this goddamn movie. I was not sold. Like Lena, I was not sold on it in the beginning. Anna's like, "You should watch. Let's watch this movie," and I was like, "Okay." But once we got to the first story inside of a story, I was like, "All right, I see where this is going."
Well, that's what confused me, and that's where I was like, I thought it was something else, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. I'm tired. I should take a nap. So annoyed.
The first couple scenes in the office, and anyway, I loved it. I don't want to. Tony, what'd you think?
As advertised by you, it was a ride.
It's a goddamn ride.
Yeah, like
I give you that.
You suggested we watch it, so I didn't. I just kind of experienced the movie. Didn't really try to think about it too hard. I could see that there were some weird stuff going on, and I wasn't sure if it was a product of a product of the culture, a product of the budget, or if this was just going to be odd for the sake of being odd. I probably watched about the first 15 minutes of it, and was like, because you kept saying it's a ride, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to watch a few minutes of it and just kind of see how this goes. I didn't have time to really invest when I started. I was like, yeah, I'm going to need to come back to this because I'm going to need to read this movie. Because I was also checking to see if there was a dub or the German subtitles, if nothing else. Turns out there wasn't. It was Castellan. Is that? Yeah. So it was Castellan
dialect
as the language. That was the language. If you look on Netflix, that's what was. Or I'm sorry, on HBO Max. And the only dubbing option was English. That was it. That was the only dubbing. So, yeah, that movie's a ride.
That movie's a goddamn ride.
And especially that first 15 minutes, because there's stuff that happens, and I'm like, what is going on here? And I'm kind of glad I watched it the way I did, because I think it was a little more prepared for the ride I was going to go on.
Yeah.
I think
Go ahead.
If I hadn't read the plot summary, I don't know at what point I might have figured out what was going on. Like in the other, I might have just continually been confused and then absolutely hated the movie.
I don't see it, and I thought this was a very straightforward movie. Like, I thought this was a pretty straightforward story. The twists, I guess, were well telegraphed. I mean, I could see them all coming. I never felt surprised by anything.
Well, but I
liked the ride. I just enjoyed the ride I was on.
What I got wrong was I thought it was a flashback. And
well,
but knowing that it wasn't made everything made. I'm like, oh, okay. Now
they tell the story
like and take it in.
Yeah, they tell the story like 3 times. It's first in his manuscript, the rest is by inference, and then the third time is when they're actually filming the movie, which is different than the screenplay that he got.
But then there's also when that guy comes in and tells his side of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like this, like fascinating. It's tidy. That's what I enjoyed about it. Like the base story Like Ignacio's story is not super complicated. Like, I don't want to minimize, like the sexual abuse, but like that story is not super complicated, right?
Mhm.
No.
Like he had a lot of abuse in his childhood, which and then had problems that he dealt with the rest of his life and abused drugs. Like that story is not super complicated, but you get that story like 4 different times in 4 different contexts,
Yep.
which I really enjoyed. And like the whole cat and mouse game between the director and God damn it, between
One, Zahara.
What is your
Enrique.
name?
Enrique.
Angel and Enrique is just, to me, fantastic.
Mhm.
Originally, Angel lies about who he is. Then Enrique lies about knowing that he's lying. Oh,
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
loved it. It was
So-
also very gay, which I love.
So there's a couple of points that I want to talk about specifically. One, the version that I watched was supposedly NC-17.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why.
I didn't even pay attention.
There was no full frontal male nudity.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The violence that they show was
Not
implied. There really
Yeah.
wasn't any. I mean, sure, there was language. I mean, there was the simulated oral sex that you see, but I mean, you're literally just seeing the side of somebody's head bobbing up and down. Like, there were comedies in the 80s where you saw or you got the implication of just as much in not rated R movies. Like, that.
So the interesting thing about IMDb is you can click on the NC-17 rating and it will tell you all of the reasons why I got it.
Oh,
So sex and nudity, rated NC-17 for a scene of explicit sexual content.
so it was the blowjob.
Well,
Actually,
there was a sex scene that you didn't see details, but
there's
there was
a lot. They the kids jerk each other off at the theater,
That's true.
yeah.
which is
That's
just a lot of-
probably the thing.
And then Enrique and Angel, they have
Mhm.
sex.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even their sex
Oh,
is.
I know exactly. You don't see it's.
But also, it was rated in 2004.
Hmm.
It was a different time, and I don't know if
It could have been. It could have been rated that way because it was gay sex.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it very well could. That very well could have been it.
Mhm.
I
his
can't
friend-
imagine this movie today would have been rated the same.
No.
I mean, shit. I saw far more explicit content on Game of Thrones
Yeah.
than in this movie.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm. Yeah. His friend wears white briefs, which are somewhat see-through when wet. He is shown from behind as he takes them off to put his jeans back on. When he turns, his fly is open, showing his pubic hair up close.
it did.
Yeah,
That
it
is a fact.
It did. So profanity is actually listed here, but what is interesting to me is that the gay characters call each other fag a lot,
Hmm.
and that is not in the subtitles very often. Like, a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it was
as often
it
as I
was
call people
like
dude.
F star star star. I may have seen it. Yeah,
No, they
Really?
spelled it out.
did they? I was
spelled
I
it
was trying to think if I saw both of it. Maybe
No,
I
they spelled it
saw
out,
both.
but I
Okay.
only remember it like once or twice. It was not.
I remember
it
a
was not
couple.
frequently.
Yeah, they call it basically just as often as I call people dude,
Mm.
which is frequent.
That's an interesting choice. I know you had mentioned that you had something to say about the
Yeah, it's just interesting.
dubbing.
It was just interesting the way that they did that. And I don't know if it's just a 2004 thing
Or is it a cultural thing?
Yeah, or is it a cultural thing? Which
Like in Spanish gay culture, is it not as much of a slur as it is in English speaking culture?
Yeah, if it translates the same way.
Yeah.
Like it is the gravitas of the translation.
Well, and just like I listen to a couple of different podcasts from the UK, and every once in a while, in referencing cigarettes, somebody will say a fag.
Right.
Yeah.
Reference a pack of fags, or just referencing cigarettes, and it's jarring to me because it's like, oh no, that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, even the context is all right there, but it's still kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just like I don't really have a strong grasp of gay culture. And then especially not Spanish gay culture.
Right. Yeah.
So
where are Spanish homosexuals? We need to ask them and get the context there.
Light the signal, light the rainbow signal fires across the Atlantic.
Yeah, not just Hispanic. We need Spanish.
We need Spanish. Yeah,
we need the Spaniards.
We have to cross an ocean.
So the other thing that struck me about it was through the course of the movie, we see the scenes of the flashback of the boys. That I did not get the sense that was fictionalized accounts. Like, I got the sense that those were like they were in the script. They were in the movie. But that's how they played out.
Oh, okay. So like nothing was kind of colored with that. It was
that's just the sense I get from that portion. Now we know that things happen later that don't play out that way. And I think that's a clever and creative display of artistic license. Like the artistic license of Angel or Ignacio.
Ignacio.
In telling a story that they wanted to tell.
Yes. I really enjoyed that.
I really did like that because that was a surprise. But like I didn't feel cheated by that surprise at all. It just felt very natural because we knew there was a script.
Yep.
So the script, like, I just really like how it all played out. Honestly,
because like it's also interesting because Enrique, like, when Angel first shows up, Enrique remembers stuff, but also doesn't remember stuff. So he kind of like lets Angel shape those memories for him, and then remembers them better.
Right. Well, I mean, he even says like, you don't look the same.
Yeah.
Like specifically, he says you don't look the same.
I wouldn't know you with that beard.
Right. Well, and then later on, that as that plays out, it's like, well, duh. Like, call me Angel. Okay, that's because you're not who you say you are.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even have to wait to the second day of watching the movie. I figured that one out. Like,
I did not.
Really?
I did not.
Yeah. I just assumed that was... So, IMDb says it's men dressed as women, but, like, it's clearly trans. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't call
Ignacio is clearly, yeah, it's like, it's not just drag.
No.
Okay, Ignacio is not.
Right.
But On Hell,
Mm-hmm. So, but in the like, if you assume that it's the same character, as soon as he starts reading the manuscript, and it's like, oh, okay, so like Ignacio is clearly. I'm not doing the th. I can't.
yeah,
can't.
no, that's fine. I haven't been doing it at all either.
I can't. I can't. I don't want to do it. But like, as soon as you start reading the manuscript, and like Ignacio is very clearly trans, I was like, oh, okay, like Ignacio is just her dead name. Like,
Yeah.
like that's just a thing, and like, she went to go see her old school chum, and like didn't want to, like, she went there asking for a job, so like didn't want to like make things too changey too quick.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I just kind of figured that was what that was. So later, when they do the reveal that that's not Ignacio at all, I was like, God damn it! God damn it!
It's an interesting take on it because
created this.
Yeah. So it's hard not to talk about this movie without really spoiling it. So,
it's a 17-year-old movie.
It's a 17-year-old movie that I didn't know existed until 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is fair.
I'm the same way, but 3 weeks ago.
Also, when David brought it up in the context of the podcast, he said, "Let's talk about Bad Education." I thought he was talking about a completely different movie called Bad Education that's also on HBO Max.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's the movie I thought Anna wanted to watch, and I was like, "Do you want to watch this movie?" It's just not
her idea?
It's not a bad movie.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but like
I think Anna might actually have an interesting perspective on that, being somebody who works in school systems. I mean, like I actually think she could bring an interesting perspective to that one. But in this one, like Ignacio is trans.
Mm-hmm.
On Hell,
it's not.
Isn't.
On Hell's not even gay.
No. On Hell is playing a role the entire time.
Yeah. On Hell's right. He is a hell of an actor.
Yeah.
Well, and he's pretty upfront in the beginning about how committed he gets to roles, and you know what? That's no bullshit.
Enrique does. Committed. Yeah, Enrique does kind of compliment him for that. Well, I see just how good of an actor you are.
Dare I say, in a bad pun, balls to the wall.
I was thinking about the ethics of that entire thing. Mm-hmm. About Enrique knowing but not saying anything and then just continuing to fuck on Hell. And I tried to parse out what was going on there, but couldn't figure out how I felt about any of it.
Yeah.
Because On Hell is lying to begin with, but now Enrique knows he's lying, knows he's not gay, but is still fucking him anyway.
Well, doesn't he want to see how?
Does he know
if he can finally get On Hell to admit what's going on, or
does he?
Well, I thought he said that, or actually, I think he said he wanted to see how much he could take, or from him.
think it was
probably 6-7 inches.
I think it was just a very complicated casting couch.
Yeah, just listen. Once they started the movie, because he didn't find out. I don't think he finds out that On Hell is lying until after they start shooting the movie, right?
I believe that's correct.
So, at that point, he's like, "Well, now I just want to finish the movie and fuck this dude, fuck this movie star." So, I mean, he's already lied to get me in the sack.
Is that your cat? I see. Hi, baby.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Romeo, you're not invited to this episode.
Yes, he is.
Romeo is holdening.
Yeah.
Holdening.
Oh yeah,
Stands in the background and talks really loud.
trying to get on the show, trying to put his commentary into the show. Yeah.
Away from a microphone, and so
Yeah.
But loud enough that something's going to pick up.
I don't know. I think Romeo might be louder than Holden, which is
Yeah,
an impressive feat
very impressive.
because
considering-
Holden is
Baby.
very loud.
Yeah, Romeo is the size of one of Holden's lungs.
Yeah.
But is he like 17? He's not 17 pounds like my Jack.
So, like, I really liked all of the loop, like all of the various story timelines.
Mhm.
Like, there wasn't a single one that I thought was poorly done. Like, even the fictional, like the over dramatized fiction at the end, with like the evil priests. I mean, like, the priests were evil, but like the comic book villain evil priests.
I
The one priest is like, oh, I know how to murder this away.
loved him. My mom was like,
I did.
What happened?
I really do want the prequel that is that priest's backstory because he just kind of walks up and goes.
Yeah. I laughed so hard. That priest murdered that guy.
That was hysterical.
It was ridiculous. Okay, now we lock the door.
Ugh. I like the buddy heist of Ignacio and his friend in the fucking church. Well, there's a service going on. Like, this shit is just gold. Like, I know that was part of the manuscript, but it was still goddamn funny.
It was.
Like the divine, heavenly. He just keeps putting stuff in the bag.
It was just like almost every separate section timeline wanted to do a different genre of movie. Like, you had the romance between the priest and then Angel. Wait, is Angel gay? Maybe he's
I
bi.
don't know.
I guess he's got to be bi, because he's like really trying to bang those actresses.
Well, yeah, because he married Monica at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that little the title cards at the end where they like projected what all these people did was just like what that honestly surprised me. Like, I was not expecting to see that pop up.
You guys are making me like this movie more than I did. I suppose isn't a bad thing.
I think you liked the movie. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I think you might have been confused about the beginning of it, but then you liked it.
Well, I was
There's
what
no
confused me was, the play that I thought was flashback.
Mm-hmm.
So, thinking that was Ignacio. So I was really confused as to what was going on, because I knew that as far as the actors went, there was someone different who played Ignacio, and I was like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on. And that was when I was like, I have to read the plot to see if I don't even know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Then they try and steal that guy's motorcycle. And then oh shit, this is Enrique. Oh shit, this is my childhood love. I've been trying to suck his dick while he's been passed out. Oh.
Have you seen any others of his movies?
No, I need to.
I have not.
I need to go through and watch through his filmography.
I mean, there's the two that I remember being, I don't want to say mainstream famous, but there's Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, and was it Woman on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown? I think that was during his like Penelope Cruz phase.
It is Woman on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. When Penelope Cruz was his beard.
I thought I'd seen something of his, but I've not seen either of those, and those are really the only two that I knew of before this.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else that he's made, but...
I had heard of the movie Volver.
Oh.
Volver.
Okay.
That is to come back.
Okay.
To return.
Given this short description of the plot, that makes sense that that's what it's called. After her death, a mother returns to her hometown in order to fix the situation she couldn't resolve during her life.
Okay, then.
Set in part in La Mancha. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch a lot of these movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Volver?
He's gotten better at it.
Los Abrazos Rotos.
Volver is actually on HBO Max.
Well,
Is it?
Yeah, that's
according to the trivia, originally rated NC-17 in the States, an oral sex scene was blurred to obtain an R rating.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I got my full oral sex scene then.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we watched the NC-17 version.
Good.
Yep.
I mean, there was no ween in it, but...
No.
Probably why I hated it. I mean, there were some nice bums.
Dick neck.
Considering everything else this movie had and showed, I was honestly surprised we didn't see a penis.
Yeah, me too.
Like, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So much so, there was so much, like, to it that, like, one of the first trivia items is that Angel, like, had to issue a statement that, like, he was not coerced into doing the sex scenes by Almodóvar.
Wow.
And he's like, oh no, I was very into those sex scenes.
Okay.
Like, what the hell is the actual trivia?
What
He had to
other
fire off
movie?
an angry riposte to the New York Times reporter Lynn Hirschberg after she claimed that he had fallen out with Pedro Almodóvar over filming the explicit homosexual love scenes in the film. Bernal wanted it on record that he had absolutely no reservations about taking the role.
Matter of fact, I've
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, no. We had a falling out, but it wasn't the gay sex.
What? Oh,
The original movie...
is Y Tu Mama Tambien an Almodóvar movie? No.
I don't think so. Because that title I actually recognize.
Yeah.
Not all Spanish is Almodóvar.
It truly is, yes. But I know he was in something, but I can't.
Who?
Bernal.
Welcome to the National Archives.
But I can't think of what.
Was it the National Archive?
No, it was not the National Archive.
Are you sure?
Sorry.
Mozart in the Jungle?
I don't know. I'm kind of running through them. I thought he was in a movie that was kind of like No Country for
he
Old
was in a
Men.
movie we talked about, actually. He was in The Kindergarten Teacher.
With my boy?
Did I see that?
Yeah.
Oh.
With Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Oh. I
did not see that.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking. Not this. God damn. Hannibal Lecter, accused of being a pedophile.
That's the work I had yesterday.
Fuck, and I can't remember the god. I can't
Oh
even remember the
wow.
guy's.
He was in Coco. He was the voice of Hector.
That was the boy, right?
Yeah.
Motorcycle
Goddamn, that was a
Diaries,
good
which I
movie.
did not see, but
What's that?
I said Motorcycle Diaries, which I did not see.
Mads Mikkelsen. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's done a lot of like
No.
American stuff.
No. He did Coco.
It could be that my brain's just thinking of Javier Bardem.
Are we gonna have to have a
I
talk
mean,
about how like?
I think about
Yeah.
Javier Bardem.
As you should.
And this guy looking the same, similar?
No, I just think about him.
Just thinking of their
just think
career.
about him. Okay.
Just think about him every once in a while.
I was like, these two dudes look nothing alike.
He's apparently they're in pre-production for a movie called Z, and he's playing Zorro.
Who?
Bernal.
Oh, okay.
Bernal. Gael García Bernal. I had to
Boy,
look
he
up
really
Javier
does have
Bardem.
garbage hair though in his photo on IMDb. I'm sorry, that's a really shitty haircut.
He's very cute in Bad Education, but that was 17 years ago. Very cute.
I don't know. He kind of had a bad haircut in that too.
His regular hair, I thought was then.
Oh yeah.
I liked his regular hair, kind of scruffy, and he's got those gorgeous eyes.
It looked like he cut it himself and then he never washed it.
I liked it. Now, Enrique, his hair was driving me bananas. Oh, just like the bangs were up here. And
Oh no, those were very rough.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That was bad too.
That was rough to watch. I do not know what was going on with that. But also, Lena, that haircut that you're talking about that he's got in the movie is the same haircut that he has in his picture in IMDb.
Yeah, it's the same
now I
haircut.
gotta look,
It's the
because
same
I was okay with
It's
it.
not great. It's not great.
I was clicking through the pictures of the movie, and Tilda Swinton showed up for the premiere of this movie.
So I can turn this in.
All right.
That just seems very odd.
The
What? Maybe
IMDb
not.
picture, his hair is much more flat. He had like little flips going on, which I like. Whatever, I'm not wrong.
I'm not checking it. You know I can't do that. True.
All right. I don't have a whole lot else to say about the movie.
Yeah, me neither. Like that's the thing, though. It's like
the two
really
pages
goddamn
they done.
good.
There's this page
but-
and the rest of this page.
It's like all plot good, and so like the joy is in following it for the ride. But I don't know that there's a ton to like dissect there.
I agree.
No, it was. I think the mastery of the movie is in the plot.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't enough difference in the flashbacks. They could have done more interesting things with like film grain and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with a little more of a budget, we might have seen that real life versus flashback versus the film within the film could have been shot in different ways or with different lighting. So like I have a really hard time praising the director for that. Because there was creative things that I think were left out that could have been done. For me, the real masterwork here is the script, because the story is very tight.
The story is very tight.
And there are things that like show up in interesting ways, like when he goes to visit Ignacio and Angel's mom, and she just drops a couple of little things, and it's like her entire story, every word she says is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Like it's all hints as to what's going on, as to the timing of how it all played out. Like knowing her story and then seeing how things play out toward the end of the movie, like, oh, that's who that person was who showed up at the house for that contest. And
Yeah.
it's all right
provides
there.
all the threads.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting that we get all those threads put together in the middle of the movie for things we haven't seen yet.
For like
Yep.
5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then the priest shows up at the end to start tying it up into a nice little bow.
Turns out he was the priest all along.
Turns out he was the priest all along. That priest breaking that guy's neck is just it's never gonna leave me.
It was very surprising.
It was. It really, really was.
I actually don't agree with you, Tony. I don't think that I wanted any artistic
Stuff.
any artistic mechanisms applied to the flashbacks to give me a clue what was real and what wasn't. And I think I don't because it.
Well, I don't think in the end, you would have realized what was going on until the end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they would have shown him, you could have just assumed that was just flashback.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how they were framing the flashbacks, instead of showing that. Okay, here's the current storyline, and this other thing that looks a little bit different. That's because it's a flashback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think I don't. I think I want it all to be the same style because I like the implication that none of the stories we saw were the actual story. Because it's clear Ignacio has, not to marginalize Ignacio's trauma, but also is quite fucking dramatic.
Oh, that's very true. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. So Ignacio's quite fucking dramatic. Angel wasn't there. Enrique was there for like half of it. Wasn't there for the rest of it. So we've kind of got like this mishmash of what everyone more or less remembers that kind of give us the story, which I like the implication.
Mm-hmm.
I like the implication of that.
So do you feel like Ignacio is an unreliable narrator?
Well, Ignacio's not in the movie. In the present, Ignacio.
In the present, no.
But the thing is, you can't determine if Ignacio is an unreliable narrator.
Bye, Lisa.
Because he wrote the screenplay like coked out of his mind.
Mm.
And also, he never says it's an autobiography.
No, he doesn't.
Sure.
And the portions of it that Enrique is in and doesn't quite remember, like, could go either way. Like, they could be dramatized. They could never have happened, right? Or that could be just Enrique doesn't remember, right? So I kind of really like the ambiguity of it. Like, the tale exists beyond the teller, and without anybody to contradict directly the points in the tale, the manuscript is kind of the source of truth, even though we don't really ever get that.
I kind of feel like the manuscript is true until what are their names? Ignacio and the
priest.
Not the priest, the Ignacio's friend who steals all the stuff at the church.
Fuck, what the fuck was that
I
guy's
don't
name?
remember.
I don't remember.
Paquito.
Yes.
Paquito.
All right. It feels like it's the manuscript, because we don't see a lot of the manuscript. We see the manuscript in terms of what happens to them as boys.
Yep.
And with them as boys. And then there's like this presumably huge time jump to the end of the movie, or to near the end of the movie, where we get a fictionalized account of him going back to the priest. But he does actually go back to the priest, but the priest is no longer a priest.
Yep.
Like, that's just a fictionalized account of it. But otherwise, I think up until that point, it feels like whatever he talks about is probably true. I mean, we don't see much of it.
Well, the thing is that the motorcycle thing, I don't think happens. Where Ignacio and Enrique meet up, Ignacio doesn't know it's Enrique until he gets him drunk and tries to steal his motorcycle. I don't think that happens.
I would agree with that.
Because I do feel like Enrique probably would have said, "Hey, you try to steal my fucking motorcycle?" So I don't think that happens. Because Enrique doesn't Way doesn't recognize him.
Oh shit, that's right.
So I think that at least has a dramatic element of it.
But what's the point of that?
Well, so the point of that, I think, is in the manuscript, the motorcycle scene is the first scene of the movie.
Right.
Right. It's the catalyst for him to go back and deal with some of this shit that he's got left behind. Right. And that's why I think Ignacio goes back to the priests in the end. That he's resolving that shit in his past so he can move forward and try and hook it up with Enrique. So I think it's the catalyst for him to do stuff. At that point, him going back and confronting the priests, he did that sort of.
Yeah, because what we saw was actually only in the movie. That was not necessarily something that played out in real life.
Yeah, because I think when it played out in real life, the priest had retired, and he just called him up and blackmailed him.
Well, because he needed drug money.
Yeah, because he needed.
He needed surgery. He also needed surgery.
Yeah, he needed the top surgery, and he needed drug money.
Well, he had top surgery. I think he was getting bottom surgery.
Oh, did he already have? I thought the priest paid for his top surgery too. Oh no, does he already have that?
Yes,
because he does in the manuscript and the movie.
Okay, so in the flashbacks that we see of Ignacio, the implication, hearing Ignacio talk, those are his tits.
Yeah, he does talk about them a lot.
He's very proud of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And has them mostly on display.
Yeah, so I guess it has to be the bottom surgery then.
Well, I think he even says something about finishing up and
yeah, because he says from, and I don't remember the exact phrasing, but
doing the rest of it or something.
From the waist up, it's all good. And he also wanted to get his teeth done or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess she really does love those tits. She does talk about those tits a lot.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
She's not. It never actually explicitly says she's trans, so it's also hard to.
It feels like she is, though.
It's definitely she's definitely.
And I think there's also perhaps a difference in the language between 2021 and 2004. in terms of what do you call a person who is transitioning?
Yeah.
Because I believe I remember seeing the word tranny as it was referenced, in the dialogue, which was like, oh, that's
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
we don't do that anymore. But that was like, it was almost like self-referential. It wasn't like somebody using it as a derogatory term for somebody else.
Right.
So
And that also might be a translation thing.
it very well could be. Because it'd be interesting. I would assume the translation probably would have happened around 2004 also.
Yeah, I can't imagine they went back. They've social justice updated the subtitles. That's what I like about the story. That's like it's like complex, and like the story exists apart from the truth, because everybody who is a narrator of that story doesn't have the whole thing and is unreliable.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely.
So you like have to average every story to put everything together, and you don't have the pieces. You're right. You have the end pieces at the middle, but you don't get the middle pieces until the end.
Yeah, and we have like, it's really the story from 5 different points of view. Because we have Enrique's story, which is pretty much what we're following in real time.
Yep.
We have Ignacio's story, which we really only know because of the script. We have Angel's story, which is mostly lies.
Mostly lies.
Until the end. We learn about what his truth is toward the end. We have the priest's story. And then we have Mom's story that kind of ties them all together. And Mom's story feels like it's the most honest, because it doesn't have any other motivation behind it.
Yeah.
It just feels like she's missing her child, and her other child is doing his thing, and she knows that he's fucked up because his brother's dead, or his sister. And Mom's story feels the most genuine of all of those stories.
That is absolutely true. However, I think this movie is criminally underrated for its comedy. And I realize that the subject matter does not lend itself to comedy. But one, that priest breaking that neck is wonderful. But two, the second funniest thing in the goddamn movie is Ignacio is blackmailing the priest for molesting him as a kid. The priest comes over to Ignacio's house. Okay? Angel is there in the shortest pair of shorts humanly possible, doing push-ups in the other room. The shit, oh, the rapey priest is coming over. Let me get a quick workout in.
So,
which makes me think that Angel is planning this grift from the get-go.
Or is Angel just...
He wants to get some of that priest money.
Or was he wanting some of that priest dick?
Well, he got that. And
he did get that.
They were in love, Tony. I don't think Angel was in love with that priest.
No. I don't think there was a whole lot of love anywhere in this movie.
I think Enrique and Ignacio loved each other when they were boys. That's the story I have decided I want.
I don't know that they were in love.
I think Ignacio loved...
I think there was an infatuation.
At 7,
That-
it is also difficult to.
Well, they were also pulled apart and never saw each other again. So there's that fantasy of the thing that
Yeah.
you no longer know if it's a thing
Yeah,
that you can make anything out of in your head.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was love.
Isn't that what life and love is? Eventually, one of the two people is going to die.
And then there will be grief.
And you know what grief is, Tony.
I do. It's love persevering.
Did you not think that Ignacio grieved the absence of Enrique?
I think they did, but
Mhm.
I think Enrique was in a different situation because Enrique then
Was no longer being molested by priests. Actually, I don't think Enrique was ever molested by the priests.
No, he was expelled after the 2 boys were found. I don't know if the priest abused anyone other than Ignacio.
Oh, I would put money on the fact that he did.
Probably.
I mean, I think they either said or implied that Ignacio was his favorite.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, once Ignacio was gone,
It was not only, it was favorite.
yeah, felt like it was a larger open season. Yeah, I mean, so it feels really natural that Ignacio would like cling to the positive memory,
Hmm.
like the good thing that happened.
The one good thing.
Yeah, that one thing.
I got nothing else.
Yeah, me neither. This movie was fantastic. I loved it.
It was good. It was very good.
Yep.
Do
I have to
recommend.
upgrade from okay to good, so and I'm okay with that.
Do recommend, but
Got 'em.
also you got to read it.
But also, you got to read it.
Oh,
Which
you
I
do.
mean, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I watch enough anime
No,
that
it's
doesn't
fine.
really bother me.
Oh, I don't. I'd rather have it subtitled than dubbed, personally.
I've actually really gotten into that life where I've got the subtitles on all the time, even when it's in English now.
I do that sometimes for British stuff or for Irish or Scottish, especially. Like if I watch the Derry Girls, I have to subtitle that.
The Dairy Girls.
I
Derry.
don't know what that is.
I don't know what that
Irish.
is.
It takes place in the 80s. Irish school kids, but holy hell, they talk so fast. Haven't a clue what they're saying most of the time.
Oh, so Lena hates the Irish. Wow, that was a revelation.
Well, I do love me some cheese, so I suppose I do love the Irish. Just go with
I-
that.
Irish have a lot of
You know what?
cheese?
I'm having a hard time making that connection. So
Yeah, do the Irish have a
let's
lot of
unpack
cheese?
that one. Let's unpack
Yeah,
that one.
there's some good Irish cheese.
Irish cheese?
Yeah, we've bought
Irish
some nice.
cheese.
We've bought
Irish
some nice
whiskey?
Irish cheese.
Kerrygold Dubliner.
That is good butter, Kerrygold. Speaking of, I finally had that peanut butter whiskey.
Screwball.
I think he bought a different brand, but
Oh, that if you didn't like it, then that's the problem.
no, I didn't dislike it. It was good, but I'd
I
probably
drank
have
4
to
bottles of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it took me a while to be able to drink Fireball straight. Given time, I could do that with Screwball, but I don't think I'd want to.
All right, here I got a question then. If you're not going to drink Fireball straight, how do you drink it?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
actually
know
a
what
really
people
good
do.
question.
I have no
No,
idea.
No, you.
Me.
You just said it took me a while to drink it straight. How did you drink it before you drank it straight?
I think I put soda in it. Either,
soda.
well, what I also would do is I would just have like little sip, and then then you graduate from little sips to bigger sips, and then
You want me to tell
that
you
I
about a
can
time I
just-
took a big sip of Fireball?
yeah.
Yeah, I was playing
Well-
Battlestar Galactica.
What?
I was playing Battlestar Galactica at Archon.
Okay.
No, I wasn't. What were we playing? We were playing like Cash and Guns, or we were playing something.
We were playing something.
And I was just innocently drinking my beer.
Uh-huh.
And then someone dumped, while I wasn't looking, a ton of Fireball into my beer.
Wasn't me. Me? It was me? Did I
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
You may have been prompted though.
By you?
And then
Wait a minute.
I
Fucking
drank
point.
a bunch of my fucking beer.
I believe that drink went like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember
This person
it. I
over
just don't
here.
remember- I remember it. I just don't remember me doing it.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that's why you don't get to sit next to me at cons anymore.
But I
Yeah, that
know
happened.
I have a tendency to drink fast.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was drinking
So-
beer.
The other acceptable way to do something with Fireball is in like a warm apple cider.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've made Fireball fudge. I think I remember. Because
Fudge.
Julie liked
Bailey's
it.
fudge. Yeah,
Ooh.
I did like Fireball fudge. That was good. Fireball fudge was good.
Yes.
Julie makes a Bailey's fudge that is out of this fucking world.
Hmm.
And the great thing is she's like, oh, it doesn't taste enough but like Bailey's. So it just keeps going to the point where you pretty much have to like almost freeze it to get it to be able to cut it into slices, because it is there's so much alcohol in it. It doesn't actually like set up and form solid.
I wonder
It's
if the
great.
screwball would make a good fudge.
I bet it would. I bet it would.
Yeah, peanut
Did you
butter
hear that,
fudge
Gretchen?
does-
I'll have to ask either Doug or Vince was telling me about a drink that if you mix like screwball and something else, and it was like a flavored vodka, and it's like a peanut butter and jelly shot.
Mm. Have you done the rum chata cinnamon toast crunch?
Yeah,
Mm.
it's actually really good.
Lena,
What are you
Don't
gagging at?
like rum chata. Don't like it.
do you like cinnamon toast crunch?
Love it.
Yeah.
We actually
like
have a
rum
bottle
chata?
of rum chata in the fridge, but it's not mine, and I don't like it.
Well, I'll
It's
drink
not
it.
rum, so you're wrong.
I know. I didn't say it was rum.
You
I
just don't like the word rum.
That is true. But I know, I remember when we went to that pool place. A bunch of us went. Some place where we all played pool, and they made us
Oh,
they made
Pink
us
Galleon.
a drink. And it was like a whole bunch of stuff. And I know there was rum in that, and it was good. And I know that you have said it's because I haven't had good rum.
No,
Which-
it's because I said that you don't like coconut rum, which is what a lot of the mass market rums are,
Well, like
Malibu.
I
Coconut
grew
rum
up,
is the devil's
like
work.
with the stereotypical Italian rum cake. That's disgusting. So
the
very
cake is
disgusting.
disgusting. The rum, I think, doesn't have a ton to do with it.
Well, I don't like liquor in my desserts. Liquor
Yeah,
is
me neither.
liquor, and just leave it. Unless, of course, it's fudge, which that's a whole
I don't like to
other thing.
eat
But-
and drink at the same time.
Well,
I
let me
either
do it
eat
separately.
or I get drunk.
Let me have, Man, I can't wait for October.
I was just about to bring up that I'm really goddamn excited that Archon is probably going to happen.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Am excited. Am so excited.
All right, let's call this one, guys.
All right.
Next week, the Mitchells versus Machines.
Got it.
God, I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Darn.
Oh no.
I'll see if
Oh
maybe
no.
will want to watch it with me.
Netflix.
Got it.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye.